How do you explain the cockeyed cropping of the released footage and blatant lying of what floor she was on when she was last captured? Many say that maybe they just didn't have as many cameras covering crew areas at that time, which gets mixed responses. Some agree this is possible, while others, some even claiming to have first-hand knowledge, say that there hasn't been a day that ship has sailed where not a single area of it wasn't covered by a security camera, especially the area Bex was last seen. The article written by John Ronson, his name's like really hard for me to say for some reason. The article written by John Ronson at The Guardian reiterates all of this. John took a trip on the Wonder that same year after Bex went missing. He analyzed the ship and questioned crew members. Some claimed, quote, it didn't happen, and, quote, that's what they have to tell him. While others were far more open to talking about it, stating they know Disney knows what happened to Bex. Disney held a memorial service for Bex on Deck 5 shortly after her disappearance, while the investigation was still ongoing, and that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. John also interviewed a woman who was referred to as Melissa, who claimed to be very close to Bex, and said that Bex had expressed fear of sexual assault while living on Disney Wonder. There was no further context given, nor was there any further expansion onto the validity of these statements, but if they came from close friends of Bex, they have to be considered. The torn shorts that eventually were given back to Bex's family tell a very ominous story as to what may have happened. Her family has since sued Disney, and in 2015 settled with them for an undisclosed amount of money. But in return, they are not publicly allowed to speak regarding their daughter's case. This has also rubbed a lot of people weirdly. If her family felt there was more to this, why settle out of court and agree to essentially never speak about their daughter's case to anyone publicly ever again? It throws a wrench into the quest for finding answers, and it does seem slightly odd. However, I'm not going to judge that decision too harshly, being that I'm not in their position and I don't know what they're up against. They did, however, hire a private investigator to continue the investigation for them. This private investigator believes that Bex met with some sort of foul play on the ship. The CCTV footage shows Bex in clothing several sizes too big and heading to the health clinic area, which has some forming the idea that she may have been a victim of sexual assault, left in a hurry while grabbing whatever clothes she could find, and made the call to a friend to confide in them. She maybe then decided to make her way to the health clinic, and that's where she met with foul play. I could potentially get behind this theory. If anything, I think that Bex was put into that situation that night she was not completely comfortable with, but felt pressured, which led to sexual contact that was not wanted. That in turn upset her, and she made the call looking for help. She possibly went to the health clinic looking for help as well, and was intercepted by her abuser. It is completely possible, given Disney not releasing further footage of her leaving the area, yet claiming she fell off at Deck 5. If she fell off Deck 5, you'd have footage of her leaving Deck 1 area and heading there, but you don't. So for argument's sake, let's run my theory of interception at the health clinic. If a crime occurred, why would Disney hide it? I get preserving the image of a safe family cruise vessel and whatnot, but this chick is missing. It's gonna get out that she's missing. And from your ship. You can't hide that. So why not be upfront and be like, this is what we have, boom, case closed. This was the first missing persons case on a Disney cruise ship in history. I feel like it would have better served them to just get it solved and be upfront and as helpful as possible in order to get this solved a lot faster. But because they went the shady route of editing their footage and lying about where she was last seen, it's kind of tarnished a lot of people's opinions on Disney cruise ships. To me, it just seems like the risk of hiding more evidence would be far greater in damage to their image than the incident on board that got solved immediately thanks to their help and cooperation. I truly believe a camera caught what happened to her that day. Whether Disney deliberately withheld the footage, accidentally deleted it, or missed it completely is a different story. But I refuse to believe they didn't have a camera there to witness it, or at least that there was footage of that morning of her going somewhere. Either way, this whole thing is just fishy as fuck. And that is the story of the vanishing of Rebecca Coriam. I suggest checking out the article by John Ronson from The Guardian. It was actually a pretty intriguing read. I'm also interested in what you guys have and what your theories are. Did an invisible wave take her out to sea? Was she overcome by emotions and decided to leap? Or did something far more sinister happen? Let me know in the comments section below. The post's on my Instagram and Twitter account at Vanishing Hour Podcast. And while you're at it, feel free to throw me a like and or a follow. As always, thank you for lending me your ears, and I hope to entertain you all again here at the Vanishing Hour.